Sometimes we think that the foods we have long been accustomed to are completely harmless and always beneficial. However, the truth is that even the simplest and most familiar products can hide an unexpected threat to our health, especially as we age. Today we will talk about just such a product, ordinary chicken eggs. It would seem that what could be more familiar and harmless than an egg? Ever since we were children, we have heard about how healthy eggs are. Our parents told us that it was a source of protein, vitamins, healthy fats, and even an important element of a proper breakfast that would provide us with energy for the whole day. It always seemed obvious to us that eggs help us to be healthy and strong. And, in general, this is true. But only on one condition: if eggs are properly chosen, properly cooked, and properly consumed. As we age, our body changes, becomes more sensitive and less resistant to various external and internal influences. What was once absolutely safe and even useful, after 50 to 60 years can become the cause of various health problems. And eggs are no exception. They, of course, remain a valuable food product, but only if certain rules are followed. Unfortunately, most people ignore these rules or are not even aware of them. The mistake is that the negative consequences of improper egg consumption do not come immediately. They gradually accumulate, settling in our bodies over the years, imperceptibly undermining our health until one day they become a serious threat. Today, I'm going to detail the most common mistakes that older people make when using eggs in their diet. Some of these mistakes you make almost daily and don't even think about the damage it can do in the long run. Mistake number 1. Incorrect preparation. Tasty but dangerous. Surely many of you are familiar with such a morning. Oil is churning in the frying pan, you break eggs, a golden crust appears, and the aroma fills the whole kitchen. Such a picture evokes pleasant memories and seems perfect. But this way of cooking, despite all its attractiveness, is one of the main mistakes that can harm your health. The fact is that when frying on very high heat with a lot of oil, the protein and yolk are subjected to too high temperatures. As a result, substances are formed in the products that can irritate the stomach, worsen liver function, provoke inflammatory processes, and even lead to metabolic disorders. This is especially dangerous for those who suffer from chronic gastrointestinal diseases such as gastritis, pancreatitis, gastric, or duodenal ulcers. In addition, oils that are most often used for frying, such as sunflower or corn oil, release so-called trans fats at high temperatures. These trans fats can penetrate the body's cells, disrupt metabolism, and increase the level of bad cholesterol in the blood. Regular consumption of such eggs increases the risk of cardiovascular diseases such as atherosclerosis, hypertension, heart attack, and stroke. Even butter, which many people love for its naturalness and flavor, is not completely safe at high temperatures. It can also release unwanted substances and put additional strain on the digestive system. What is the way out of this situation? Of course, no one is calling to completely abandon eggs. The solution to the problem is very simple and obvious. Try to replace the method of cooking. Instead of fried eggs, it is better to use boiled eggs. Boiling soft-boiled or in a bag. This is the best option for preserving all the useful properties of the product. The protein and yolk in this method remain maximally useful, while the body more easily digests them. Eggs cooked on steam or in the form of an omelette on low heat are also excellent. Such a breakfast will be not only tasty and healthy, but also safe for your body. Mistake number 2. Excessive protein intake. The next mistake many older people make is overindulging in egg white. The trend for protein diets is very popular today, with many people believing that the more protein, the better for health and muscles. This is not really true, especially when it comes to people over 50 to 60 years old. Protein is certainly essential for maintaining muscle mass, healthy bones, joints, and overall body tone. But it is important to realize that excess protein, especially concentrated egg white, can have a negative impact on the kidneys, liver, and metabolism in general. As we age, the kidneys do not work as efficiently as they used to and are not always able to cope with the excessive stresses caused by large amounts of protein foods. When a person consumes large amounts of pure protein on a regular basis, e.g., frequently eating scrambled egg whites or separating the yolks from eggs, it can lead to tissue dehydration, increased kidney strain, and even the development of urolithiasis or gout. Moreover, large amounts of protein consumed without sufficient fats and carbohydrates can trigger blood sugar spikes, increased fatigue, and feelings of constant hunger. Equally important is the egg yolk. Many people avoid it for fear of cholesterol, but the yolk contains essential vitamins and trace minerals such as vitamin D, A, E, K, and lecithin. Lecithin helps the liver deal with fats and is an important component for normal nervous system and brain function. The ideal solution is moderation and balance. There is no need to eliminate the yolk completely. On the contrary, 1 or 2 whole eggs a few times a week is much better than consuming large quantities of pure proteins all the time. Mistake number 3. Wrong combination of products. Tasty but dangerous. The next common mistake is not properly combining eggs with other foods, which in adulthood can make you feel much worse. Many people's typical breakfast looks something like this: fried eggs, a slice of white bread, butter, sausage or bacon, and a cup of sweet coffee. Is it good? Absolutely. Healthy? Not at all, especially after the age of 50 to 60. The problem is that combining eggs with fast carbohydrates, such as white bread and sugary drinks, causes blood sugar and insulin levels to spike. This is especially dangerous for those who already have prediabetes or type 2 diabetes, which is common in the elderly. Insulin in this situation begins to actively drive fats from egg yolk and other foods directly into fat deposits around the internal organs. This type of fat is called visceral fat. It is this type of fat that poses a great danger to the cardiovascular system and metabolism. In addition, if you add smoked meats and sausages to eggs, it aggravates the situation even more. Such products contain a huge amount of salt, preservatives, and nitrites, which cause inflammatory processes in the body, overload the kidneys, liver, and increase blood pressure. All this can lead to exacerbation of chronic diseases such as hypertension, atherosclerosis, and even arthritis. Another problem is combining eggs with coffee. Many older people like to drink a cup of strong coffee right after breakfast. But caffeine reduces the absorption of calcium and iron, which becomes a serious problem as we age, causing brittle bones, anemia, and chronic fatigue. The right solution is to use eggs in combination with foods that support your health. For example, a great breakfast option is a hard-boiled egg or omelet with vegetables, spinach, broccoli, tomatoes, avocado, greens, and a small amount of whole grain bread. This way, you get all the nutrients you need while avoiding harmful spikes in blood sugar and insulin levels. Your body will feel lighter and you will feel more energetic. Mistake number 4. Storing eggs incorrectly. Health risks. Few people think about how important it is to store eggs correctly, although it is the conditions under which they are stored that largely determine their safety for your health. Most people store eggs in the refrigerator door because it is convenient and familiar. But in fact, the refrigerator door is the most unfortunate place to store them. The reason is simple. When you open the refrigerator, the temperature on the door is constantly fluctuating. These fluctuations create ideal conditions for the development of bacteria such as Salmonella. And eggs are covered with a very thin protective film that prevents bacteria from getting inside. When we wash eggs immediately after purchase or store them improperly, this protective film is destroyed and the egg becomes very vulnerable to microorganisms. For immunocompromised seniors, even a small Salmonella contamination can be a serious threat, causing severe food poisoning, dehydration, and even hospitalization. To avoid this, always store eggs on the middle shelf of the refrigerator, preferably closer to the back wall. The temperature is most stable there. You should also avoid washing eggs before using them. Wash eggs just before cooking, and don't forget about storage times. Boiled and peeled eggs can be stored for no more than 2 days in a refrigerator. Mistake number 5. Completely avoiding eggs. Imaginary benefits, real harm. A final common mistake is to avoid eating eggs altogether. often for fear of high cholesterol or saturated fat levels. In fact, studies in recent years show that moderate egg consumption, 1 to 2 eggs per day, does not significantly raise cholesterol levels in most people or increase the risk of cardiovascular disease. But the consequences of giving up eggs altogether can be much more serious. Eggs contain a number of essential nutrients that we miss in old age. Vitamin D, B vitamins, especially B12, fat-soluble vitamins A, E, K, and choline and lutein. These substances are critical for maintaining healthy bones, nervous system, vision, immunity, and brain function. By completely eliminating eggs from the diet, an older person is at risk for memory decline, weak immunity, vision problems, muscle weakness, and other age-related diseases. Egg is not only protein and fat, it is a complete source of vital micronutrients that are difficult to replace with other foods. The right approach here is balance and moderation. 1 or 2 eggs a day, cooked in a gentle way, boiled, steamed, omelets with vegetables, will bring much more benefit than their complete exclusion from the menu. Why is moderation important in adulthood? After 60 years of age, the body becomes much more susceptible to nutrition. Many processes slow down, internal organs begin to work less efficiently, and any overindulgence in one product can lead to serious consequences. But just as dangerous and completely exclude from the diet of important products, especially such as eggs, which carry a complex of essential trace elements and vitamins. Once again, eggs are not just protein and fat, they are a treasure trove of vitamins and minerals that support the heart, brain, bones, and immune system. For example, the vitamin D in eggs plays an important role in maintaining bone strength and preventing osteoporosis, which is especially important in old age. B vitamins are essential for the nervous system and brain, and lutein and zeaxanthin are important elements for maintaining vision, reducing the risk of cataracts and retinal degeneration. However, you can only benefit from this product if you follow the simple rules we have already detailed. Choose the right cooking method, avoid overheating, do not overload the body with protein, combine eggs with other foods, store them correctly, and do not completely exclude them from the diet. More tips for maximizing the benefits of eggs. Choose eggs carefully. Give preference to fresh eggs, try to buy them in trusted places, and pay attention to the date of packaging. Remember that freshness directly affects the safety and digestibility of the product. Use gentle cooking methods. Soft-boiled, hard-boiled, steamed, or poached eggs are the best options for seniors. These methods retain the maximum amount of nutrients and minimize the risk of harmful compounds. Keep a balanced and varied diet. Don't fixate on one food, even a healthy one like eggs. Try to diversify your diet with other sources of protein and healthy fats. Fish, lean poultry, legumes, nuts, seeds, and fresh fruits and vegetables. This variety will allow you to get the maximum benefits without the risks of overloading your body. Combine eggs with healthy foods. The best companions for eggs are fresh or steamed vegetables, broccoli, tomatoes, spinach, zucchini, cauliflower, greens, avocado, and olive oil. Such foods not only improve nutrient absorption, but also prevent blood sugar spikes, which is especially important for the elderly. Regularity and moderation. 1 or 2 eggs a few times a week is the optimal amount for most people after age 60. Remember, the nutritional benefits lie in moderation and consistency, not excess. Egg myths to forget. Now let's look at the common myths about eggs that cause many seniors to avoid or misuse them. Myth number 1. Eggs dramatically raise cholesterol levels. Modern scientific research shows that moderate egg consumption has virtually no effect on total cholesterol levels in most people. Moreover, the substances contained in eggs can improve lipid metabolism and even help lower bad cholesterol levels due to healthy fats and lecithin. Myth number 2. Eggs are bad for the liver and kidneys. This misconception is solely due to excessive protein consumption. If you consume eggs in moderate amounts, they will not cause any harm to the liver and kidneys. It is important just not to overdo it and keep the balance. Myth number 3. Eggs cannot be eaten with diabetes. On the contrary, eggs can be useful in diabetes, if properly combined with low-carbohydrate foods. They help stabilize blood sugar levels and reduce hunger due to their high protein and fat content. Myth number 5. Raw eggs are healthier than boiled eggs. Raw eggs are not only worse digested, but also carry the risk of contracting salmonella and other bacteria. Boiled eggs are much safer and healthier because the body fully absorbs the nutrients they contain. What can I do right now? By reading this information right now, you can change your habits and prevent possible health problems in the future. Reconsider your egg preparation habits. Switch from frying over high heat to boiling or steaming omelets. Replace the heavy foods you combine eggs with fresh vegetables and greens. Try to balance your diet by adding other sources of protein and nutrients. Remember, taking care of your health is a daily process that consists of many small but conscious decisions. And eggs can be your reliable assistant in this matter, if you learn how to handle them correctly. Conclusion and recommendations. So, now you know what mistakes are most often made by people after 60 years old when eating eggs. The main thing that should be deduced from today's story is the need for moderation and reasonableness in nutrition. The right approach to eating eggs will help keep you healthy, energized, and active for years to come. Eggs are a unique and healthy product with many benefits if consumed wisely. Treat your diet consciously, avoid extremes, and your body will respond with gratitude, excellent health, energy, and vigor even in old age. If you found this material useful, share it with your friends and family. Perhaps now you will help someone to make an important step towards improving their health. Do not forget to take care of yourself and your health, because it is the most valuable thing we have. Be healthy and take care of yourself.